Have you ever tried to find an obscure supplier for your eBay dropshipping business, but you don't know where to get started? You heard people like me and other people out there on YouTube saying to get away from Amazon onto eBay. Don't do that at all. And slowly get away from Walmart and Home Depot onto eBay. Use other suppliers, diversify, and really just kind of find your way around on your own. But you don't know where to get started while doing that. So in this video, I'm going to show you a list of over 450 US-based suppliers you can get started using today. And I'm also going to show you the criteria that I look for when finding a new obscure supplier. So if you like the sound of this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let's get it out to as many people out there that are struggling finding suppliers just like you are. And be sure to subscribe to this channel. When you do so, also hit the bell notification button. We're almost at 13,000 subscribers, so thank you guys very much. If you're ever looking for any free content, look down in the description below for a free eBay dropshipping mini course or anything else out there like that. So let's go inside of my computer. I'm going to show you the list, and then I'm going to show you the PowerPoint on how I find a specific supplier. So here we are inside of my computer, and yes, this is the list of the US-based suppliers that are supported by SKUGrid. And I know before any of you guys click away that a lot of you guys know about this, but there are a lot of people out there that do not know that this list exists. I was on a live recently, and somebody said that they were surprised and mind-blown that a list like this was out there. Not every repricing tool out there is as bland as a lot of them that are just the big three suppliers, the Amazon, the Walmart, the Home Depot, maybe the Lowe's or the Sears and the Kmart and whatnot. The SKUGrid is in a league all of its own for having suppliers like this. So there's 450 US-based suppliers, more or less, give or take. I didn't count them all, but I did count one whole row, then multiply by 4. So the thing is finding the right supplier, and that's what the whole basis of this video is actually about. So you can go through and click on these suppliers until the cows come home and maybe never even ever end up taking action because of the fact that you get overwhelmed and you don't really know what to do. So that's the main purpose of this video. The main purpose is going out, clicking on a bunch of different suppliers, finding one that's good, immediately excluding the ones that aren't good, and really knowing what to look for and what I personally look for when I'm trying to find a supplier. Recently, I found a couple new ones that I'm very excited about. Some of my best suppliers that I dropship on Amazon and eBay are both on SKUGrid. So, you know, it is a very, very, very diverse list, and it's very helpful as a dropshipper in general. So let's go inside of the PowerPoint that I prepared for you, and I will show you exactly what I'm looking for when I'm finding these suppliers. All right, everybody. So as I said earlier, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get it out to as many people as possible. And I do have a question for you guys before we get started. And the question is, do you use any obscure suppliers yet? I know everybody in my course hopefully has moved towards obscure suppliers or is planning on doing so. And if not, are you only using the big three, the Amazon, the Walmart, and the Home Depot? What's holding you back? Let me know in the comments down below. I really want to be able to make a video or some form of training to help you guys really move on to something else in this dropshipping world where the profits are higher and the risk is a lot lower. So before we get into it, let's go into the breakdown here. The SKUGrid has over 450 US-based suppliers, and I did show that already. And you can click through that list, and what I really do suggest doing is honestly starting from the top and just going through that list row by row, column by column, I mean, after you watch this video. Watch this entire thing, and then you'll know exactly what to do and what to look for when you're looking through all of these suppliers out there. Have I gone through all of them? Yes, I have, and it's never a fun time. But when you do find some, you look more in depth in some, you put some on a list to check later, then eventually you always have a constant flow of suppliers out there. So one thing about this is that some are good, some are great. Some of these suppliers are awesome, and some are not. So I'm going to help you guys easily be able to parse through these items or through these suppliers and really figure out right off the bat whether it's worth looking into further. So when you're looking at these, there's going to be a few key dead giveaways that you're going to be like, oh, I don't want that anymore, or oh, this is a good one, and then you add it to your check later pile. So when you're finding a good obscure supplier, or finding a good obscure supplier is key. It's key to everything with eBay and Amazon dropshipping nowadays. It's key to what I'm doing, how I'm running my business. You can go out there and do the Walmart onto eBay all you want, and sure, you're going to make sales, you're going to make money. You could even make a full-time income doing so. But in reality, I want to build my business and diversify over time and move into more sustainable and just long-term plans and solutions, and that's what these obscure suppliers are allowing me to do. So I'm going to let you guys know what the key factors I look for are in the next slides, and I'm going to be adding 10 more suppliers to my course soon, next month actually. In the next week, I'm going to be dropping a whole, I believe it's 12, I just shot all the videos today, 12 videos on SKU Grid, a whole new SKU Grid section of the course. And because I just feel generous right now, and because you guys are the dedicated YouTube subscribers and followers and viewers, I did put a $100 off coupon code down below in the description for the eBay course. So if you are interested, check that out. You will get $100 off. So what I look for first off in a good obscure supplier, and you want to be looking at a decent website design and functionality. So I just clicked on a random one, honestly, and was one of the first ones I clicked. And this is called AliVet or AliVet or something. It's a vet-based company with like pharmaceuticals and brands and stuff for animals. And one thing you realize when you look at it is it's a decently well put together website. It looks nice, and you can tell that it flows well, it looks good, and that they put effort into it. That really goes a long way in showing that they care about their service, their customer service. You see the free shipping up there, there's the live customer support, and really just making it a good customer experience all around. Some of these websites are terrible. Some of them you'll click on won't even be there anymore. Just a warning, don't be worried when one just pops up, it doesn't work. And, you really want to be looking for a website that looks something like the Walmart or the Home Depot, but isn't that website. If eBay is going to crack down on anything next, it's going to be Walmart and Home Depot. So we want to find something that's just like it or better and, isn't going to be targeted by eBay. So here's an example of one that I found that does not look that great. Do I know if this is a great or a necessarily bad website to begin with? I didn't put too much effort into looking into it, but I will show you a little bit more in the next slides about it. And this one was like Voozy Wholesale or something, and it just looks sketch, honestly. This is a screenshot from their main page. It's a pretty sketchy looking website. They really only sell this like fake looking jewelry, and in the next few slides I'll show you that there's even worse issues with them than just the fact that their website is literally terrible looking. So this right away would probably, I wouldn't want to pursue further just looking at the website, but there are some websites out there that are terrible. A lot of wholesale suppliers have terrible looking websites but could be good, but still there's some wholesale suppliers that are pretty good and have decent looking websites. So this one would, it would throw off my sketch meter right away, and I probably wouldn't want to pursue it any further from there. So as we move forward, the second biggest thing is finding great shipping and return policies, because if you're dealing with this drop shipping, you don't necessarily know if the items are going to be good right off the bat, so you would want to have a good return policy if somebody complains about it. Secondly, you want fast shipping. You really want fast shipping, let's be honest here. And in today's day and age, everything's just quick. It has to be done fast. So if there's anything longer than 10-day shipping like this website has, then I wouldn't really go for it anymore. But can you do it? Yes, you definitely can. But do I think it's worthwhile or something to really build a sustainable long-term income off of? Probably not. So I'd look for anything, the faster the better with shipping, and anything between like 2 to 5 days is going to be the best, but 5 to 10 is fine as well, because this also hopefully includes the handling, but I'm not too sure. So, with handling time, no more than 10 days, because that's just a lot. So another thing is, if it's just flat rate type shipping, that's a lot easier for SKU Grid to calculate. That's a lot easier for you to calculate the profits and everything like that, because you know that if it's over $49, and this is from AliVet, the one that I showed earlier, that was a decent looking website. Free shipping on orders over $49, so it's easy to tell, and then it's $6.95 on anything under $49. It's very easy. SKU Grid does add items to an imaginary cart and will check the shipping based off of a specific zip code and anything like that. But in reality, it is just, it's easier to do this, or to have a supplier that's like this. So if you can find one that's like this, it's definitely more advantageous. And then for the return policy, it says, this is also from AliVet, it says kindly return your unused, unopened items in their original box and or packaging in new condition within 30 days for a replacement or refund. So it does say, please note that shipping charges on returned items are non-refundable, which is kind of an issue. So the number one thing you would like to find is something with a free shipping policy, or free return policy, because kind of like Walmart, they'll just give you a return right away as long as you say, oh, it was broken or whatnot. So the abuse is definitely there. You could probably say to them, hey, there's an issue, blah, blah, blah. And also you could just contact them and call them, be like, ask them questions. If the item shows up broken, am I going to have to pay for the return? Most of the times the answer is going to be no. So That's really what I'm looking for. Great shipping and return policies is kind of an example of it. So scroll down to the bottom of the supplier's website. Look, it'll say right at the bottom, shipping and return policies. You'll be good to go. Read them, see what's up. So this is the shipping and return policies of that Boozy Wholesale, it was called, website. And to add on to their sketch landing page that they have, or their homepage, this is their estimated shipping times. Says it may take up to 14 days, which, I'm not really too happy about. You can pay more, I'm guessing, to get some faster shipping. So, their shipping doesn't seem too bad, but it's not the best, because if it could take up to 14 days, the customer's probably going to get upset. But if you look at the return merchandise conditions and procedures, I mean, it's a lot. So merchandise must be received within 10 business days from. Merchandise must be received within, it's not even English, then 10 business days from the day order was delivered. So I'm guessing it means that you need to ask for a return within 10 days of the item being delivered, which is a lot shorter than just about any other supplier's website out there. So 30 days is pretty standard. This is only 10. Return merchandise must be in the original brand new condition with labels attached. Used merchandise cannot be refunded or returned, no exception. So if the person opened the box, you're already screwed. Maybe the profit margins are big enough that you're willing to take that risk, but, again, that's just another thing against. They're going to have to weigh out over time. So products with manufacturer's defects can be returned for refund or exchange, no restocking fee. That's pretty standard. Then it says 25% restocking fee will be deducted from the regular refund amount. That's a lot. Usually 20% is the max. I've seen 30 sometimes, but 25, it's pretty high. And then you have to pay for the return shipping as well. So again, it just seems pretty unadvantageous to be using this supplier, because if people, first off, their items didn't look too great on their main page. So if people will start returning them, then you're going to have to start eating all these return fees. And it's really nothing that you want to be dealing with. So what else am I looking for? I am looking for private label brands for easy sourcing. And I did this on a live the other day when I was back in my parents' basement, if anybody watching this remembers. And basically, I was just like, look for suppliers that from your hometown from driving around. And Ace Hardware is a business that's around Massachusetts, where I grew up, all over the place. I'm not too sure if they're out here in Nevada where I am, but I just found them and I was like, they probably have private label brands. So one of the easiest ways to find private label brands is literally just search that supplier's name plus brands, or that supplier's name plus private label brands. And I literally show you a Google search here where it says Ace Hardware brands. You type it in. I scrolled down to maybe this is like the 5th or the 6th, result here. And there we are. Ace Hardware recognized as industry leader in private label. I'm assuming the next word was brands there. So I clicked on it. It does say it right here, all right here. But I clicked on it and got what it says from the website. Offers an extensive lineup of exclusive private label brands, including, there you go, Ace brand, blah, 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 blah. All these brands are, Ace Hardware's private label brands. I'm not sure if they're good. I haven't checked. But you could take those brands, check in eBay, see if there's other people selling them. I always like to have at least some competition with my suppliers, because if not, then you're just going to be listing items, taking a shot in the dark and listing these items out there if you can't find anything out there from this supplier. So maybe somebody leave a comment down below if you're actually going to look into this and see if any of these brands are on eBay or Amazon. Either or would work. So that's pretty much it for private label brands. You could search Walmart private label brands and they're all going to be there. So it's pretty consistent across the board. And another thing that you could do is also call them, contact their customer support via chat or whatever it is, and you should easily find them. So after that, here's some honorable mentions I have for you guys. So one thing about this is that you don't have to have all of these things matching to have a perfect supplier. Not every supplier is going to have everything I mentioned in this video, but it's just good to have more of these, honorable mentions and pretty much pre-qualifications than not have them, because, then that the supplier is going to be good. So you can also look for great cashback portals. From the portals, I prefer Giving Assistant. That's my favorite one. So you can check on there, see if you're going to get cash back for every order. You could, kind of not bank on it, but that you're going to be getting extra money because of it. So that's going to be helpful as well. Free returns is always a plus, like I said. So both of those suppliers that I showed earlier did not have free returns unless it was damaged. Some could have free returns, like Walmart. I mean, you're going to get some free returns. Sometimes you just say, hey, it was broken or busted. That could happen with most suppliers. And, Some of them might ask you for a picture, so watch out about that. Ask them that. Hey, do you guys require a picture for a return or for a damaged item? Because that sometimes does happen as well. Also, look for online chat support to ask questions. It's easier just to have multiple online chat supports of different suppliers going at once that you're questioning all of them about private label brands, shipping, return policies, tax exemption, anything like that going at once than it is calling every single person, although calling could end up being faster. Check if they have a wholesale / dropship program at the bottom of their website. This is actually that Voozy wholesale website that I was looking at or showed you guys earlier. They do have a wholesale program. They do have a dropship program. So that could actually be helpful. Honestly, I don't know if that website is good or bad. I didn't really look into it, but my inklings or my suspicion is that it's not going to be that great. So somebody prove me wrong if it is good, or if you use it, let me know. But I do think it's not going to be that great of a website. So after that, tax exemption. So if there is a supplier that you find that there's actually competition with, then you're going to want to see if they have tax exemption, or hope they do. If there's no real competition out there, then tax exemption doesn't matter as much. But once the competition starts coming into play, then it's going to help you easily compete just more readily with your competition, because of the fact that you can lower your prices and still be within the ballpark of where they are. And if they're tax exempt and you're not, then it could be a big issue. Or if you're tax exempt and they're not, then you have the advantage. So that's what I'm always looking for. If the supplier has multiple people using it on that platform, then you're going to be wanting to look for ways to get a competitive edge or advantage in some way, shape, or form. So in conclusion, you want to put the time and the research up front to reap the rewards. Honestly, if you spend 1 to 3 hours, I could imagine that you'll find 1 or 2 good suppliers that will probably make you a lot of money. I put in some effort and I found some suppliers a long time ago, and that's what I put in the first rendition of the course. I'm still using a lot of those suppliers, and some of the ones that I've found recently are what I'm basing the majority of my business off of. So put in the time, and you're going to have possibly one supplier that you find could have you just reap you a full-time income down the road once you put in the effort to actually learn them. So you will never know if it's a good supplier until you list the items. Let's be honest. Any supplier can have anything on their website saying we are the best, we're the best. Anything. It could look great. But until you start shipping and selling their items, you never know. So always list them slowly. Always make sure not to just list a bunch of items up, make a ton of sales, and then not be able to fulfill your orders. It's always a big issue. It's always a risk when you start a new supplier, but sometimes the risk is worth the reward. So not every qualification is mandatory, like I stated earlier in the video. You don't really need to hit every single one of these qualifications. It's just a way to look at a supplier and know right off the bat whether it's a good one or a bad one. And then, so it doesn't need competition on eBay, but it helps. So if there's other people selling it, you can find their private label brands. You find other people selling it. That's easy. You got a good supplier right there. You're good to go. But if not, there's other ways to get creative. If there's no competition, look on the website and start listing items from the supplier's website that have really high star rankings or are their top sellers. Some websites have top sellers on there, so you could start listing those. Maybe those ones will sell. Who knows? It's kind of trial and error at that point. But if you think about it, when you're sniping these items from people on eBay or using Zik Analytics, if you're sniping these items, somebody had to have listed this item first. Somebody had to have gone out of their way to list this item at some point in time without any market research, because that's just how it works. And then diversify as much as possible to succeed. Don't be stuck in your ways. Don't be scared to diversify. Don't just be stagnant and okay and stale in your business. Once you're complacent with something, that's when you're going to possibly fail or slip up or, just not see as much growth. Over time, you're going to be getting sniped. The more that you diversify yourself, the more that you just try to make yourself different than everybody else, the better. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. So here we are. Please post any of your questions below. I'm going to answer every single one. I always do. I always get to every single question. So post it down below. No question's a stupid question, so be sure to ask them all. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was informative and if it helped you out. If you're going to go out there and maybe have lit a little fire under your ass to find an obscure supplier, let me know down below. I want to hear. If you found a good one, you don't have to tell me. It's fine. I won't steal it, even if you do. So if you found it helpful, please also be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification button. You will get get notified of every video that I post, at least 2 a week, and then make sure, oh, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, like I said, please leave it down below. There is a $100 coupon off the eBay dropshipping course in the description down below. So if you are interested, check it out. There's probably going to be, once this new update launches next week, over 95 videos, I think, inside of the course, or like 90 something. So in like 15 hours of content. So if you can't succeed after watching this course, it's not on me, I'll tell you that. So thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.